Reporting for the Intermountain Christian News, I'm Dr. Anthony Harper here at the White House. Today is the Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur, which is a day of fasting, repentance, a very special day. Even though the White House issued a statement acknowledging Yom Kippur today, the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, refused to take my questions, Jewish and Christian concerns about Yom Kippur. I went up to her office. I spoke to her face-to-face about taking our Jewish and Christian questions, but she said no response. She refused to answer the questions. Even an email is refusing to address our Jewish and Christian concerns. Specifically, I wanted to ask her today is about a response to Yom Kippur, this day of repentance, in light of President Abraham Lincoln's National Day of Repentance. So this is in the middle of the Civil War, March 30th, 1863, that President Lincoln called for a time of repentance of our many national sins. This Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur, is a very holy day, a very special day. And for this administration, the Biden administration, speaking up in support of dividing Israel, a two-state solution, is an anti-Israel position. So for them to say on one hand that they honor the Jewish holiday Yom Kippur and repentance, but they have not repented, the Biden administration is not repenting of being anti-Israel in the support of this two-state I referred to as delusion. There's a warning, by the way, in the prophet Joel chapter 3 verse 2, which states, for God enters into judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the nations that scatter his people divide up his land. Very serious issue. Another issue to bring up about repentance is for the Biden administration, for Biden himself, referring to, or actually inferring, that evangelical Christians who make up a large group of President Trump's MAGA group, is inferring that they are semi-Fascists. This needs to be addressed seriously here as well. Very disturbing that the Biden administration will not address our Jewish and Christian concerns. And I'm here to continue to bring this up to them. I've emailed Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre several times of our Jewish and Christian questions, and no response whatsoever. Refusal to acknowledge our important Jewish and Christian audience. While we're on the topic of repentance in light of today being Yom Kippur, how about this administration, the Biden administration, calling for a time of repentance for killing children in abortion? And by the way, the topic of abortion has come up in the White House many times. It did today. But no reporter has really asked any challenging question of abortion other than myself and the Catholic news reporters here. But this issue needs to be addressed. Abortion of killing children, taking innocent life. And this is why some Catholic priests are refusing communion to Biden. Another very crucial issue here is about the request by a medical doctor, Ronnie Jackson, of Texas, who has called for Biden to have a mental status, a cognitive test. Now, he was a medical doctor that administered a cognitive test to then President Trump. And so in a letter you can read on the internet, look up Ronnie Jackson, medical doctor, congressmember from Texas, his letter requesting Biden to submit to a cognitive test. Now, I have a doctorate degree in psychology, and I have noticed Parkinson's-like symptoms in Biden here at the White House, on his television appearances. I've been in events with him here. So this needs to be addressed. The press here at the White House is not addressing
We read news every day. News that's informative, but rarely encouraging. The Intermountain Christian newspaper aims to change that. They present the news you need to know, from what's going on in your community to your world, with encouraging words, motivation, and the resources you need to make positive changes in your life. What is your local government doing that you need to know about? What's happening in your community you need to be a part of? Whether it's a story from your neighborhood, a national story, or an encouraging word, you'll find biblical issues of everyday life in the Intermountain Christian newspaper. Intermountain Christian News is produced and supported by the work and donations of individuals and churches. You'll find it at churches, Christian bookstores, by subscription, and online at imcnews.org. To find out more about supporting this local resource, go online at imcnews.org or call Intermountain Christian News in Boise, Idaho at 208-703-8688. The Intermountain Christian News, a voice sharing the truth on matters dear to people's hearts.